Hi, I'm Rick Dior, and these are LP's compact congas. And today we're going to talk about these. I've got a lot of questions about them. I posted a video a while back, just kind of joking around there with my wife. We were playing some flute music for one of her students, and then all of a sudden I got a lot of questions on these. So uh, these have been around for a while. They were created with Giovanni Hidalgo, the great conga master, and LP to have some sort of practice mechanism and also some sort of portable solution. As you all know, congas take up a lot of space in setups on airplanes, in cars, and everything. So they wanted to create something, and they did a pretty good job. These are very functional, and I've used them on gigs and not recording sessions really. Wouldn't do that, but they're very light, and you see this is some sort of aircraft aluminum here, I think. And the system is very easy for tuning. You have these tension rods here, and there's 8 of them. And basically, when you tighten them or you go clockwise, they push up against this rim, which pushes the head up and tightens them. And you can crank these pretty high. Now, I'm not tuning them real high today, but I do have 2 different ones, and these are the same size. They do make 2 different sizes. I believe one is, I think, a quarter or half inch larger than the other, around 11 and a half maybe. I tried the larger one, didn't see much of a difference there, and also sometimes I tune both of them really high in particular setups, and I might use them with the orchestra for some sort of effect. I've used them as actual drums before with sticks for a different kind of effect. So you can do that. Now the stands I'm using here, put this here for a second. These are these Pearl orchestral snare drum stands. I like these because they're really heavy and they support the compact congas. The problem is they're going to creep on you like you saw there. So if you use a carpet, it'll be better. This is just a wood floor. Also, you can open the bass a little more. That'll help. Problem is this stand only goes so high. They do make a tall version of it. This is the short version of it for short people like me. So I would recommend if you're tall and you stand when you play, getting the high version, which goes up to about, another 16 inches or so. Now, the good thing about these is they tilt like this all over, which is great. You can get a good tilt on them. The baskets use this kind of rubber material, and it actually compresses the drum around the rim, so it's very secure. Now, if you don't want them to creep, the other thing you could do is put little, and I've done this, put bolts or large lag screws, like the kind you use for deck railings. When you have the big 6x6s, you can drive those into a piece of plywood, put a piece of plywood down, do that, and that's not going anywhere. So that's another option. They do make a double stand for these. That's actually terrible. So I would not suggest wasting your money on that. It's very flimsy. It moves, it bends, it bounces. One other solution that you can try, and I've tried this and it worked okay, is a piece of 3/4 inch plywood, and you can rat out the middle, and there'll be about maybe 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch left on the bottom, and then these circles will sit right in there, and then you could put that on some sort of stand, like a keyboard stand, and that sits flat. The only problem with that is there's nothing much under it, it's this much gap, so it kind of chokes the drum. So I prefer to use these kinds of stands, and when I'm playing hard, I just bolt them down on a piece of wood, like I said, like that. Okay? But you want to crank them up with these Pearl stands. You could use any snare drum stand if you're sitting. You could use a lighter one. Like I said, I like these because they compress the drum with these rubber grommets. Now, when you position them, you're going to have to be careful because these will get in your way. So what they're going to do is impede your movement from drum to drum. So you've got to set it up just right. You just experiment like that and remember what it is. Okay, but the creep of these is the biggest problem when you're hitting hard. Other than that, the heads, I like to use a thicker head on one of the drums. So you see I have this Evans. I'm probably catching this with the overhead mic. The Evans head here, which is, I just put this on here recently. I prefer that more to the original LP head because it's a little bit thicker, and I'm not slapping a lot with this drum, so the thicker one gives me more of a tone. So this would be my conga, this would be my quinto in a setup, all right? You hear that it's still cracking a little because I just put it on. So for practicing coordination exercises like that, terrific. Take them anywhere. It's really, really fun. All right. Now, this one has taken a beating, as you see. I've had this same head on here for a while. You can change the heads. You could put any kind of head on here, but I definitely would suggest using synthetic heads. You can't really crank them up enough, especially the quinto, the smaller slap drum. You know, the way these are designed, you can't go high enough. So don't waste your money on a heavy rawhide head. Just use the plastic ones. Other than that, I think they're great. You get them in a little snare bag, really, or a tambourine bag, and you take them anywhere. I've taken these on planes. Usually I leave them in my car, actually. You know, if I'm just sitting around in a gig and waiting during sound check, I'll take them out and just practice a little. They're really fun, and I think they're a little overpriced. They're about maybe $260 each, which is way expensive for what they are. And I wish that wasn't the case, but it is with a lot of things. So maybe you can find some used, although I don't see them much on the market used. So I'll just play a little more for you, and I hope you enjoyed this compact conga video.